Hello Gemini, and welcome back to Insights by Randall. Today's reading is for Gemini Sun, Moon, and Rising. This is a timeless reading, so the information is meant for you at the time that you find it. It is also a general reading. Some information will apply and some won't. The information that doesn't apply, just disregard it. I'm constantly changing how I'm doing my readings until I find what works best for all of us. Let's get started. What is going on for Gemini at this time? We have the Hanged Man, the Ten of Wands, the Five of Swords. The Five of Swords keeps showing up in other readings. The Knight of Cups, the Three of Wands, the Eight of Coins, the Moon, Strength, the Chariot, and the Ace of Coins, with the Hermit on top. Okay, the first thing that's coming to me is there is this feeling of aloneness, or that you're having to do this alone. And some of you may be bothered by that, but I feel a lot of you've come to accept it. And many of you are probably in a relationship, but even if you're in a relationship, you still feel like you're having to navigate your life alone. You're having to work through your trials, tribulations, work through the issues of everyday life alone. Some of you have been negative on yourselves about this. Stop. It's supposed to be right now. Because here we have the Hermit and here we have the Hanged Man. These are both perspectives from the self, from your perspective, not an external perspective. This one is the perspective of going in, and this one is the perspective of looking at things from a different angle. Really learning and figuring things out and mastering your wisdom. Another thing that this feeling of aloneness is helping with, it's applying the pressure. It's making you feel more burdened than what you usually do. And it keeps repeating in my head that a lot of you are not alone. You have a significant other. You have friends and family that are there for you, that are helpful, but that hasn't stopped or changed this feeling that you're doing it all by yourself. And that's meant to be there. It's helping to push you to pay attention to the things that you need to heal and release the things that no longer serve you, or the things that cause you pain, or the obstacles that are in your way. So that's the whole point of this feeling of doing it alone. And I said loneliness earlier, and some of you may be feeling loneliness, but it's actually being alone within yourself. So what this is doing is pushing you into a mental victory. I almost said mental break, but not in the sense that the way society uses the term mental break. It's helping you break those old habits, those old ways of doing things, those old negative mindsets. It's also helping you to pay more attention to your heart, what you're feeling. I know that Gemini is an air sign, and for an air sign, the thought is more important, or it comes to the forefront, or that's where you exist. You exist more in the thought than in your feelings. And I'm getting from this that this feeling alone is helping you reconnect with your emotional self. It's helping you to be comfortable with your own company. Solidify you within yourself. There's a feeling that this has been going on forever. And for some of you, you've been doing this for 3 years. You feel like that somebody or spirit is dangling a carrot in front of you, and you keep reaching for that carrot, and you keep walking toward that carrot, but the carrot is never getting closer. This is the feeling and the analogy that I'm getting. But you are close to the end of the road. If I was to put it in percentages, you're about 85 to 90% complete with whatever these lessons that you're doing, whatever this trials and tribulations you're going through, whatever this mastery of self that you've been needing to obtain. So you're really close to the finish line. Don't give up. Don't give in. You've learned a lot about yourself. You've become more comfortable with your own company. If you haven't, get started. You're not a bad person. You're not a horrible person. Learn to love and enjoy being with yourself. And for some of you, that requires you being by yourself. Because a person can feel alone and not be by themselves. There's been a lot of stress and anxiety toward this whole thing. There's this thought and feeling, am I getting it? Is this the right information? You're wanting to seek an outside opinion to make sure that you have the right idea, that you've got the correct concept in your mind. And even though some people have given you the answer, it hasn't resonated with you. It hasn't clicked. That's because the answer needs to come from yourself. You need to pay more attention to how you feel. Your feelings will tell you if you're on point or not. And if you just don't know, that's okay. That's part of being human. And so there's been a great deal of frustration in throwing your hands in the air. What's the point of turning to Spirit or God or whatever your beliefs are, if you don't get the assistance, if you don't get the answers, if there isn't any help? That's been the feeling, but that has not been the case. Your personal guardian angels and spirit guides and Spirit has been there every step of the way, and they're helping the best way that they can. But you are correct that you're not getting as much assistance as you usually are, because the wisdom is within you. The answers are within you. And even though at times it feels like that you don't have the answer, that you're not getting the answer, you are. It's happening a lot on a subconscious level. It's happening a lot within your intuition. So do what you can to quiet your mind, because I know that Geminis are highly intelligent people and their minds are just going 90 miles a minute. Do what you can to rest your mind and rest in your feelings, and the knowing, if you're on the right path and if you have the right answer, it will be right there. You will sense it. And at first it may feel like, well, I don't know, kind of maybe, or it may feel really tiny. It's like exercising a muscle. The more you pay attention to that intuition, the stronger it'll become, the louder it'll become, the more you'll be able to feel it, and then you'll be able to snap your fingers and know exactly if you're on the right path, if you have the right answer, doing the right thing. Stay strong. You're really close to, for lack of better words, the finish line of all this self-development, this internal self-development. Your pain and suffering will soon come to an end. And once you make this realization, once you have these hidden truths revealed to you, then it's all systems go. You're off to the races. It's like the starting line. The person shoots or the buzzer goes off and everybody takes off running, which is the chariot. Here we have 9. There we have 11, 5, a 10, 3, 8, another 8, and a 7, 18, 1 and 8 is 9. Some of you just feel like you are all over the place. So I'm going to say within the next 3 months, you will have this realization, you'll have this breakthrough. But I don't feel like it's going to be like this huge epiphany experience. It's going to be little pieces at a time, like little crumbs at a time. And that in itself can be frustrating. But when you have these little pieces, hold on to them. Don't have the thought, okay, I completed this, I'm done with that, and toss it to the side or let it go. Hold on to it. Write it down. Like, leave little messages for yourself on the fridge or the counter or on your mirror when you get those little gems of truth, because it'll add up and it'll help. You'll be helping yourself that way. If you can see, oh yeah, that's right, I got that piece at this time and it was in this situation, I forgot about that. So if you're keeping a journal or keep little notes for yourself, it'll help tremendously, and you'll be able to put the pieces of your puzzle together in a clear, conscious way for yourself. And then pay attention to your feelings, pay attention to your feelings, pay attention to your feelings. So then, after you complete this cycle, You are off to the races, you're moving again, things are flowing in your direction, but this time with a sense of self-mastery, this time with a sense of wholeness within yourself. You'll feel that you have the strength, the power, the creativity, and the ability to do with your life as you please. And the truth is, you do. And then there's a new beginning here, and this is in the physical reality, the 3D world. Okay, does anything need clarification? So whatever you've been working hard to manifest, it's coming to fruition. Trust. I know that right now it seems like everything keeps getting thrown in your face, or you're coming up, you keep getting a lot of no's, or you can't. It's happening. What you're wanting to create is going to happen. You just got to finish this internal work first. I feel like that was pretty precise. So let's see if we can get a time frame. Is there a time frame for Gemini in this current cycle? Is there a time frame for Gemini in this current cycle? Is there? There we have the Lovers and the Eight of Swords. The Lovers is all about, most of the time people see the Lovers as, soulmate and getting together and all that kind of stuff. But the Lovers, in its original meaning, and still part of its meaning, is about cycles. So this is saying that the cycle will complete when it completes. And it's entirely up to you. You feel that you're in the Eight of Swords, you feel bound, you feel blindfolded. Those are just your perceptions and not what's really going on. And so when this cycle ends and completes is entirely up to you. And unfortunately, you can't BS yourself and say, okay, I choose for it to be over, and it's over. No. What you're doing is building your strength. You're building your confidence, you're building your strength, you're building your mental boundaries. It's kind of like you're doing this internal incubation, and you'll emerge experienced, wiser, and more mature. And that's not saying that you're immature. There'll just be more maturity on top of it. Can we get a time frame for Gemini? Can we get a time frame for Gemini, please? I know what this is saying, but some of you, and like myself, we're human. We would like a timetable. Can we get a time frame for Gemini, please, on their current cycle? Five of Cups and the Six of Cups. Many of you are fighting this process. The longer you fight this process, the longer it'll take. And the answers to make this go quicker are right here. Be comfortable with yourself. Be comfortable being in your own skin. Be comfortable with your own company. You're feeling alone, not loneliness, you're feeling alone for a reason. Your reality and your thoughts keep throwing in your face these different perspectives. Let go of the old ways of thinking, let go of your mindset, let go of what you're holding onto so tightly so that you can see from other perspectives. You do that and it'll release. Also, you're focusing too much on the things that you've lost, and you're focusing too much on the things that you can't manifest right now. What you need to be paying attention to is what you've already got. Be grateful for it, be thankful for it, and again, turn inward and look at what you have right now to try to learn what it is that you need to where you need to mentally grow and what you need to let go of. This feeling of trapped, blind, and bound, I hope this doesn't upset you, but that's actually an illusion. This is only existing in your mind. And because it's existing in your mind, it's showing up in your reality. I just had the idea that some of you are thinking that, well, that's a catch-22, but it isn't really. Look from a different perspective. If it helps, talk to someone that you can trust, or talk to someone who isn't going to use that information against you. Lay it all out on the line and ask them what they think. Oh, and talk to someone who's actually going to be honest with you and not tell you what they think you want to hear. Find someone who's going to actually tell you what they think, and then really think from their perspective. Really try to see it from their perspective, and that'll help shift your thoughts and feelings that are stuck. Okay, now let's take a look at the energy of the undertone. We've got the Queen of Swords, the Four of Swords, the Page of Pentacles. This keeps coming up in all my readings. The Two of Cups, some of these are just repeating the same things I've already said. Clear your mind, own your thoughts. When you start to have a negative thought, stop yourself. Tell yourself, no, that's not helping, that's not healthy. Try to let it go and think of something that you love or that you enjoy. Or if it helps get your mind off of it, do the chores, go outside and garden, go for a walk, go onto one of these shooter games and kill a bunch of zombies. Whatever helps get your mind off of it. Because you've been spinning your wheels so hard and fast trying to figure out either what's going on internally or how you can fix and change things externally so you can get back to creating your life the way that you want. You do need to take a break, and you do need to rest because you're exhausted. The Page of Coins. The realization within yourself is coming, and it's coupled here with the Two of Cups. And what I'm getting from this is divine partnership, but this isn't externally, this is within you. Divine partnership with yourself, divine partnership within your thoughts and feelings, instead of your thoughts over in left field and excuse me, let me reverse that, your thoughts being on home plate and your feelings off in left field. They'll be coming together and they'll be more in unison. There'll be less internal strife. So that's the goal, a more whole and unified you with more wisdom, more clarity, stronger, healthier boundaries, more in touch with your feelings. I think that pretty clearly states all of it. But I'm having this burning feeling of how much longer can we have a time frame, please? And I tried that twice. And the answer was true. It's entirely up to you. But I want to say, as long as you're on your path and you're doing the work and you're releasing the old ways and releasing the negative and self-entrapping mindsets, within 3 months. What wisdom does Gemini need at this time? What wisdom does Gemini need at this time? What wisdom does Gemini need at this time? Letting go. Learn to let go. What wisdom does Gemini need at this time? I feel like that there is another. Epiphany. Seek clarity. Letting go. Learn to let go. Life is constantly changing. Nothing ever stays the same. People come and then they go. Some exit quietly without you realizing it, and some go with a loud bang. In the constant flow and changes of life, we get stuck with unhealthy habits, unhappy relationships, unrewarding jobs, unrealized dreams, and the like. You may have created an unhealthy attachment or bond to something or someone that no longer serves you in a positive way. You have the innate courage to acknowledge the situation and know that change is inevitable. It also brings with it a newfound freedom and spiritual growth. Mantra: I am ready to free myself from situations that no longer serve me. Okay, take the wisdom of that card and apply it to your internal self. I'm sure that applies to some of your situations in the external, but this whole reading has been about what's going on inside of you. So letting go of the things that are unhealthy and no longer serve you inside. Epiphany. Seek clarity. To experience an epiphany is to have a sudden realization or spiritual flash that will change the way you view yourself and others around you. You get to see the situation more clearly, as if someone just switched on the light. With this clarity, you can see the truth. You will also gain a sense of control within yourself to make positive decisions that will bring about happy and joyful outcomes. The mantra? Yeah, I can see clearly now. That's fantastic. So I was talking earlier about these little gems of truth and wisdom from different situations within yourself and externally that are teaching you and bringing them together into a full puzzle. It's like they're little puzzle pieces. So it's not going to be one gigantic epiphany. It's going to be a bunch of little epiphanies, and gather them up. Keep them in your mind. Keep them fresh. Leave yourself little notes. Read it and remind yourself. And then when that big picture comes together, it's going to be like a huge light just flipped on. And then all those little epiphanies will become one grand, oh my God, I get it. Oh, wow. This reading flowed really well for me. If you liked or appreciated the reading, please leave a like, and I will see you next time. Thank you.